I am making a rat putter. What's unique about it, it's a rat rebar. And let me explain. The rat. I like hot rods and I love cars, and a lot of inspiration comes from my cars. And I'm getting into these rat rods, which is a hot rod, but a rat rod is taking all these different parts from cars and these rims and this motor and dropping the thing in flat black and pinstriping and just a bunch of parts. So I've done many of Newports throughout the years, a classic one, the Newport, the 009, and they're all a variation of a Newport or classic one, or realistic, a Scottsdale Lancer, which was great in its time, but I believe that we, by milling this out of the solid block of steel, can keep the structure of the steel without going to a casting and get pinholes and pockets and so on. So this rat putter, the Rat, I was building a new door handles for my studio in Korea, and I went to the scrapyard and found this old rebar. If you guys know rebar, it really is not. It's just for strength inside, like cement walls and cement for structure. It really is nasty, but when I was making this, here is one of them. I arched this and working with rebar, but then I found that I could start making this pretty. So it's very much a rat looking material, but I found when I was making this, I could start to make this thing look cool. So mixing parts of a 009 with a rebar neck being a rebar rat. So it's mixing all different types of different metals, of ideas, of concepts. So I'll kind of share with you what I'm going to do to it, and then kind of make it and show you steps along the way of how it came to be. So. So here off the mill, we've pulled the 009 head. I've taken the rebar and it's been welded on. The lathe, I've turned down the top of that rebar, if you can see that, in order for the shaft to slide on. So you're going to see that amount of neck. I've pre-polished the neck because there's a lot of scale to the rebar. To heat this lower portion and move this over, then flow it coming back at the same time. I'm going to flow it back for the lie angle. So I have the neck, I have this leaning at the 4 degrees in here in this jig. So what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to get one shaft of offset. So when I bend it low or bend it high, it matters. So I want a flowing, elegant bend. I'm going to say that this is very much a 1.5 neck. So here I'm creating my offset. So this is over, so I'm going to come up and I'm going to flow this up back here. So I move up, I take that heat, move it up, and move it up, and move it up. I'm starting to come back. I'll move it up and up and up, as you can see. Back. You can see not only am I coming back, but I'm coming back for the lie. So I'm back for the offset and back for the lie at the same time. Again, moving up. Want a little down here. I don't want too much offset. So after I get it semi-close by eye, I put on my loft milling machine, get that neck. So as I drew, I'd like this at 70 degrees with 4 degrees of loft. So I've got the flow coming over for offset at the same time flowing back for the lie angle. Looks pretty darn good. Right there. As you can see, I brought it over early for the lie, for the offset, and I brought it back for the lie. So I've pre-polished, because you can see it's very hot. You can see in here, I can't get in, so I pre-polish it. Now I just have to give a little buff, give a little polish, and I'll do that next. Kind of show you this rebar turns from pretty nasty looking into something quite elegant. Stay with me. So we've cut the neck, we've welded the neck. I'm just going to show you briefly, that nasty looking rebar is going to end up looking very elegant. That's what I liked about it, taking something old and ugly and making it very elegant and usable. So I got my offset and I got my lie angle. I have checked the loft and the lie with the shaft and my loft and lie gauge. And I'm just going to spruce up this neck to show you going from one nasty, rough, into something really quite pretty. As you can see, the weld, I like to leave the burn marks. For example, I can polish this off, but I like the burn marks. It's that rustic rat rebar look. I think it shows a sign of craftsmanship and coolness, so I keep that. So it will be rough, it will be pretty, it will be polished, it will be rusted, nasty, so combination to create the rust. So I did the drawing, the neck, milled the head, welded the neck. When you see this in a finished state, you'll know how it kind of began, and you'll see a finished one was my goal to show you a little inside the studio on what we do. So thanks for hanging out.